Hello everyone. So I am Sir Rhoy Kapul, a grade 9 science teacher from San Vicente Integrated High School from the Division of San Pablo City. For today, we're going to discuss all about volcanoes. So before that, let me first read to you what are the different objectives for our lesson. The first one is to differentiate active from inactive volcanoes. Discuss what happens when volcanoes erupt. The last one is value and demonstrate awareness on safety precautions before, during, and after a volcanic eruption through a video presentation. Now, so I have here an activity. It is entitled Hide and Seek. So there are several words which is related to our topic. You have to find them all. So we have 10 mystery words in our puzzle. Find at least 5 words. You have to do this activity for 3 minutes. Go. So you may find the words either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Okay? So let us find first those words which are written in horizontal direction. First word is we have inactive. Define inactive. Next. Next word is climate. We also have crater. Next, we have lahar. Now, how about those who are written or which are written in vertical direction? We have the word geothermal. Next, we have the word lava. Then, those which are written in diagonal direction, we have the word eruption. Next, magma. We also have vent. For the last one, we have the term active. Again, let us recall the words. We have the word inactive, climate, crater, lahar, geothermal, lava, magma, active, vent, and eruption. So we have to tackle the following words as we go on with our lesson for today. But let's first have a quick review about your fundamental ideas about the topic. So are you ready? Okay, I think you are all ready. So what can you see in a picture? Yes, it is a form or a picture of a volcano. So what are the things that comes to your mind when you hear the word volcano? Okay, so some would say that volcano is a landform. It belongs to the families of mountain, valleys, and etc. Now, by looking at the picture, you would see here that the volcano has a cone shape. It's like the shape of the cone in an ice cream. Next, some would say that a volcano is a mountain. But how is mountain different from that of volcano? It is different because a volcano has a polar opening at the top, which is what we call as the crater. Next, let us now have a review about the parts of a volcano. Let's start from the bottom. Can you see number 1? So what is number 1? What part of volcano is this? Okay, so number 1 is the magma chamber. The magma chamber is the source of the magma in a volcano. Next, how about number 2? What is number 2? Okay, that is the term magma. Magma refers to the molten rocks which are found beneath the volcano. Next, how about number 3? So what part of volcano is this? Very good. So this is a secondary vent. So aside from the primary vent, we have smaller vents called secondary vent. Next, how about number 4? What part is this? This is a secondary cone. So you may find smaller cones beside or along the cone of a mountain or volcano. Next, how about this one? What do you call this channel? Number 5. That is the main vent. That is the main channel where the magma comes from the magma chamber and will go out through the number 6. Number 6, what we call as the crater. The crater is the opening at the top of a volcano. Next, how about number 7? What part is this? Yes, this part is what we call as the lava. The lava are the hardened molten rocks which came out from a volcano. Next, we also have number 8. So this number 8 pertains to what? Yes, these are what we call as the volcanic bombs. Volcanic bombs are small fragments of rocks that are being released during volcanic eruption. And the last one, how about these clouds? So, what is this? So that is we are pertaining to ash, steam, and gas. So these are the parts of a volcano. Again, we have the magma chamber, the magma, the secondary vent, the secondary cones, we have the main vent, the crater, the lava, and the volcanic bombs, ash, steam, and gas. So I think you already know the different parts of a volcano. So let's move on to our main topic. So how do we classify volcanoes? There are 2 types of volcanoes according to volcanic activity. So I would like you to look at the 2 pictures. Figure 1 and figure 2. Are you going to compare figure 1 from that of figure 2? Yes, in figure 1, there is a eruption, while on figure 2, there is no eruption. Figure 1 is what we call, or exhibits what we call active volcano, while figure 2 is what we call as inactive volcano. Let us discuss these 2 kinds of volcano in detail. The first type is what we call as active volcano. Look again at figure number 1. So how are we going to describe an active volcano? An active volcano has records of eruption. Next, so this record of eruption may happen from 600 years to 10,000 years ago. Okay, therefore, we could say that an active volcano erupts regularly for a particular period of time. Now, can you identify the different examples of active volcano in our country? So let's have some examples. So what are the different active volcanoes in the Philippines? The first one, we have Mount Mayon, which is located in Albay. Next, we also have Mount Taal, which is located in Batangas. Another example is Mount Bulusan. So this one is located in Sorsogon. So these 3 are the examples of active volcanoes. Again, we have the Mount Mayon. Okay, it is very famous because of its perfect cone shape. Next one, we have here the Mount Taal. The Mount Taal, which is located again in Batangas. Third one, we have the Mount Bulusan in Sorsogon. So those are what we call as active volcanoes. Next, how about active volcanoes? Again, look at figure number 2. So we can describe inactive volcano as It has no record of eruption. Next, therefore, it has not erupted for the past 10,000 years ago. And it has a tendency to erupt in the future. So therefore, this inactive volcano has a tendency to become active in the future. So these are the characteristics of inactive volcano. Now, can you identify the different examples of inactive volcano in the Philippines? Okay, so I have here the example of inactive volcanoes in the Philippines. The first one, we have Anilao Hill. Anilao Hill is found in Batangas. Next, I have here also Mount Bagakay. Mount Bagakay is found in Camarines Norte. The last example is Mount Kokoro, which is found in Palawan. Again, we have Anilao Hill, Mount Bagakay, and Mount Kokoro. So this group of volcanoes are considered to be inactive volcanoes. Now, let's test your knowledge about active and inactive volcano. Let's see if you learned something. So I have here an activity entitled Fill Me Up. Okay. To complete the Venn diagram below. So you would see you have to differentiate active from inactive volcano. In between them, you have to write down the similarities between the two types of volcano. And then, on the opposite sides, you would have to write down their unique characteristic. What makes active volcano different from that of inactive volcano? Okay, so you may go back to our previous videos. You want to answer the following question. So let's proceed to our next topic. The question is, what happens when volcanoes erupt? Okay, I would like to look at the picture. This is an example of an illustration of a volcanic eruption. So what can you notice in the picture? Yes, there is magma coming out from the volcano. There is also ash. Okay, so during volcanic eruption, the magma comes out from the volcano. It is being pushed by the pressure upward. Okay, so during volcanic eruption, we have two major effects that happen. We have the negative effects, and of course, we have the positive effects. So let's start first with the negative effects. So what are the negative effects of volcanic eruption? The first one, it destroys lives and properties. During volcanic eruption, people may be killed, even animals or plants, because of the spreading of lava. Next one, it can affect the global climate. The release of too much ash in the atmosphere can decrease the global temperature, thus affecting the global climate. Next, it can cause lahar or mud flow. When volcanic eruption happens when there is rainfall, okay, the magma will mix with water and then afterwards it will form mud flow together with the soil. Now, if there are negative effects, there are also positive effects. Let us identify them one by one. First one, it creates extraordinary scenery. An example of this would be the Mount Mayon. So as you can see, it is a perfect cone shape and it is being visited by many tourists. Next one, the positive effect of volcanic eruption is that could result to fertile soil. So that's why you would see in many photographs that mountains or volcanoes are surrounded by different plantations or agricultural farms because their soil is rich in nutrients. And the last positive effects would be geothermal energy. So do you know what is geothermal energy? Okay, geothermal energy from the word geo, which means earth, and thermal, which means heat. Therefore, it is the energy coming from the interior of the earth. So this geothermal energy is converted to electricity and being used by the whole community. So these are the different negative effects and positive effects of volcanic eruption. Now, so as an integration for our lesson, let's have disaster risk reduction management procedure. Are you prepared for volcanic eruptions? Okay, so I would like you to watch a video presentation. So what do you think are the things to do before, during, and after eruption? So please watch this video presentation. Then later on, we're going to have a short activity about this lesson. Okay, so did you learn all of the following which are being presented in the video? Now, I think you know the different things to do before, during, and after eruption. So can we proceed to our next activity? I think this would be our last activity for our topic for today. So our next activity and the last activity that we have is entitled Spread Awareness. So how are we going to spread awareness? So this is your task. So given the situation below, suppose you are a volcanologist in a certain community where an active volcano is present. How are you going to create awareness among the residents about volcanic hazards before, during, and after volcanic eruption? So here you have to create a video which should be 3 to 5 minutes long to be submitted on my Gmail account, roycapul@gmail.com. Okay, are all my instructions clear? Okay, so let us proceed. How am I going to grade your output? So I will follow the following grading rubrics. First criteria would be details and information. So these for 5 points. Second criteria is method of presentation. Again, this one worth 5 points. And the third one, we have techniques and creativity. Another 5 points for this criteria. The last criteria will be accuracy. So another 5 points for this criteria. So for this particular activity, we have a total of 20 points. Again, so those are the topic, or that is the topic. So our topic is all about for this day. So I hope you enjoy learning about science, especially topics under volcano. So as a recap, let us have the following informations again. We have active and inactive volcanoes. So you also learn what are the different, what happens during volcanic eruption, the positive and negative effects of volcanic eruption, and you also learn what are the things to do before, during, and after the volcanic eruption. So the following, as you can see in your screen, the following are the different references that I made use for this presentation. So there you have the Science Learnings Module 9, which is from the Department of Education. And from I have here the source of my video from YouTube, and the pictures that I have made use from my presentation coming from Google. And of course, the one or the application which made possible this type of online teaching is because of Zoom.us. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy our lesson for this day. Again, I am Sir Rhoy, signing. Thank you.